Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. Welcome to Near Me Condition, a channel where you can be part of a positive, honest community and lay claim to some comic book knowledge. I'm your host, the Astonishing Melanie, and this is the Uncanny Omar.
Hello.
And together we are Fusion. Good morning. And we got two people from Poland in the chat, y'all.
Already?
Two people.
How's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us this wonderful Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. I hope everybody's doing well and fully recovered if you were out last night.
Hey, Mark.
Good morning.
What's that? What's that large Scott Pilgrim book in the thumbnail?
It's a print. It's not a book. It's like a collection of prints that they sent me over. They sent me a couple of them, so I'll be giving some away later on. After the last few giveaways, though.
What's your opinion on Transformers 1?
I loved it. I thought it was good. It's, nothing is as good as the original movie, but it was better than the Bayformer movies.
Ooh.
Everett just got my all-star Batman Deluxe hardcover.
Congratulations. Hey, Brent. Oh, we had a good week at school. Have you seen? Okay, so Gabriel, yes, just saying he saw Transformers 1 yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And I watched I watched Penguin. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought somebody had told me that it was getting bad reviews, but I thought it was good. Good morning, Omar, Melanie from Fort Worth, Texas. What is up, Paisano? Hey, Omar, do you think that DC will release an omnibus collecting the complete run about Lucius Fox's son Jace becoming Batman? I think, wasn't that supposed to be, well, at least like a big trade paperback?
Les says he thinks it's the second best Transformers film below 86, but better than Bumblebee.
Yeah, I thought it was better than Bumblebee, just a little bit better than Bumblebee. But because you get to see so many of the characters, I think it goes a long way for me. Like my kids and I had a lot of fun, like watching and pointing out who the characters are in the background, who didn't have any voices. Honestly, there weren't a lot of actors in this movie. Like a couple of actors, just like the cartoon, provided a lot of different voices. Hey, Marvel Bab, how are you doing?
James is telling me that I missed a very interesting AMA last night. Ask Tina when she came upstairs. What'd y'all talk about?
James had a one-track mind last night.
But if anybody would like to watch the replay, it's on Patreon. And there's different tiers with different rewards, such as the AMA is Ask Me Anything is the $7.77 tier. And we have a book club meeting tomorrow to discuss Flash Born to Run. And that will be on Zoom tomorrow at 2 through Eastern time.
Are you?
And I'm ready. I read it. Because it's only 4 issues.
Are you going to sing Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run the whole time?
The whole time. Don't stop. Like, that would be really, really annoying. So no.
I thought it was a pretty cool idea.
Just once. What's your favorite Batgirl comic?
Cassandra Cain. Like especially those first 6 issues. Where she didn't have the ability to talk, like she couldn't talk and speak, so she had to communicate through violence. I thought those were amazing. Like, she's my favorite Batgirl. What's up, Chicago?
Oh, it was during a Comic-Con.
Oh, it was Baltimore. Comic-Con, yeah. Yeah, sorry, man. I hope everybody had fun. I think the big auction is tonight, like Scott Doonbeer's auction. It looks wonderful and it goes to a good cause. Read
Baltimore's fun.
Negalioid this morning. Really enjoyed it. No sign of the second book getting an English language version. Of course. think I'm doing the Sandman Thickies 5 and 6 the rest of the weekend. Have you read those before?
Fun. Hey, Max. Oh, let's see. Bruce Springsteen is going to be in Asbury, New Jersey a couple of nights. What? A couple nights ago.
Did you go?
Massive crowd.
I was going to go see The River because he was playing the entire album in Louisville, Kentucky, and I didn't get a chance to go. So,
What DC comics do you want to see in their new compact format? That's a good question.
They've been doing a lot of different books in compact size. Like some of them really, like the Joker and the Lex Luthor book, those were tiny, but then they've done like 12-issue series like Watchmen. Honestly, I would like to see some classics like Batman Year One, Dark Knight, things that have already been collected, of course, right? Kingdom Come, and classic stories that if people are collecting them in this format, they can have the option of reading them. I refuse to do business with Ticketmaster after their data breach. Oh, that's right. They did have a big data breach. Besides, prices are getting absurd.
So Hawkeye is asking, should this person buy Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil Omni Volume 1 or Scott Snyder's Batman Omni Volume 1?
That's tough. With the advantage of getting Scott Snyder's Batman Volume 1 is that you can immediately go and buy Volume 2 if you really liked it. If you really loved like Chip's Daredevil, you got to wait a little bit until Volume 2 comes out. But I really enjoyed both of them. Maybe Chip's Daredevil a little bit more towards the second half. The first half, I think I enjoyed Snyder and Capullo's Batman a little more.
Oh man, I felt the full moon at school. Let me tell you this week.
Hope everyone had a good week. We've had a good week. I was in LA for a few days, and now I'm here, back at home. That's why there weren't really any live shows with any interviews or anything going on. But now I'm back.
Carl's been through Boom's Power Rangers comics. Why do you recommend the Lost Chronicle to look after Shattered Grid?
Why do I? I don't know. Why do I? What did I say in my video? Oh, I think because it has, because you don't need to 100% read it right before Shattered Grid. That's probably why. Matt Wagner's Batman run really needs a reprint. Yes, it does. That came out during COVID, that hardcover. And unfortunately, it kind of like the Demons trilogy, that came and went, and it was never reprinted.
How was your trip to LA?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Just, it's work, but it was a lot of fun. And I got some reading in.
Were you a Valley girl or Fallout Boy fan girl?
Neither. I was a Barnes & Noble fan.
Who did you talk to on the plane?
The marketing, she does marketing for WB and Toei Animation.
And her husband's writing a comic.
He's writing a graphic novel.
Oh,
it's okay. It's a comic. He was a stand-up comic, and it was really cool. We made it like I like talking to people, so I was like, I'm not gonna be on this plane ride just reading comics. So I ended up talking to them for hours. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good morning.
What's your favorite Frank Miller Batman?
Year one.
Frank Miller.
Yeah. I think some people. No, Miller. It's Miller.
Okay.
It's
Mark Miller. Mark Miller.
Some people. Let's see. I think it's just Mark Miller. Like, people have told me it's just Mark Miller. It's not Millar. I always pronounced it Millar. And then people are like, that's not how he pronounces it. I've never met the man, so I don't know. I never had a chance to ask him. Year one. Some people would go with Dark Knight. Some would go with Dark Knight Rises. Some would go with Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. But for me, it's year one.
Oh, congratulations again. You Superman Triangle Air Volume 1. Do you know how many volumes will be needed before the death of Superman?
Oh, I asked that very same question in my video. I recorded it last night. 2. That would take us to the death and return of Superman. If they are mapping it around the death and return of Superman. I'm just assuming they are. But if they're considering that an event omnibus, whoa, hold on for some major double dipping. Because some of that will be in Volume 2, and some of that will be in Volume 3 if they do the Triangle years. I'm an Omni girl in an Omni world.
I'm an Omni
what does that even mean?
In an Omni world. It's fantastic. K-Lex bookshelves.
Wow.
Let's see. I just read Batgirl Burnside Omni, and I'm going to reread it, but this time in volumes you suggest reading the omnibus or reading the 3 volumes of Batgirl?
Well, if you have the omnibus, go for the omnibus, right? They're all in there. Yeah, go for the omnibus. People really like that era of Batgirl. Just finished Sandman Mystery Theater Compendium. It's so sad that we have no idea when the second one's coming out. I liked it way more. Oh, it's an excellent, excellent series. Yeah, we don't know yet. As of now, we don't know yet.
What are your favorite Jeff Lemire comics? Maze?
Essex County.
Maze what?
Maze Book.
Book.
Sweet Tooth is good. I really enjoyed Sweet Tooth. Underwater Welder. Trillium. Probably Ascender and Ascender. I really like that series.
I have a suggestion for horror comics, but Jim's asking if you're cooking something special for Halloween season. I don't think you're thinking of
I probably will be doing like hidden gems that are horror centric.
I'm almost done with Ice Cream Man Volume 1, and I'm gonna immediately read Volume 2. It's addictive, y'all. Finally, I'm reading it, this anthology of like creepy stories, right? And but then there's like two characters that appear. Well, the cowboy dude doesn't appear in the first issue. Ice Cream Man appears in every issue. And there's like a to me, right, as the reader, a mystery of who these characters are. And so yeah, who Prince? Somebody Prince writes it. Somebody, the last name of Prince writes Ice Cream Man.
William.
Well, Prince is the last name.
Thank you.
Recommended. Let's see. How many Titan Savage Sword Conan Omnis do we need to complete the whole run?
Oh, man. I don't think we were even halfway with Marvel. So I want to say maybe 18, 20. Hey, Nocturne, how are you?
I've never read The Death of Superman, but I watched 2 DC animations. Should I invest in the story, or are there more interesting action stories involving Superman to recommend?
It was an event, and it got a lot of people interested in Superman, which is ironic, right? Because it's called The Death of Superman. And out of that event, we got more events. We got Funeral for a Friend. We got the Reign of the Superman. And then we got the Return of Superman. So in a way, it does lead into other stories and more characters for the Superman lore. I recommend reading it. Yeah, I think Maxwell Princess. I definitely recommend reading it and experiencing it, because it's not, it's something that, people either hate events or they love them. And I think it had some good moments in there too.
Should Bugmaster get a milk steak boiled over hard? No, it's jelly beans raw.
They're quoting Always Sunny, by the way.
Oh man. What about your favorite Rick Remender comics?
To me, his magnum opus is Fear Agent. I love that book. And after that, I really enjoyed the 7 to Eternity, Tokyo Ghost. A lot of it is his independent stuff, right? Uncanny X-Force was solid. I prefer Colin Yost's X-Force over Uncanny X-Force. I'm trying to think. Black Suns is up there for me. Low is excellent. Low is one of my favorites. Yeah. And I wish that they had done more with the Crawl Space collection. Like, that was an anthology series of horror stories he was writing.
Do you own it?
Yeah, that's an excellent series.
Cool. Yay, thanks, Jim. Here it is. I can read it. Revival's going to be a show or a TV or a movie.
Maybe a show. I don't know. Is it going to be a show? It looks like Instigator knows. Oh, did you get those?
Just last week, I ordered Hero Origins art. What? What? Well, good. I'm glad.
Hero Origins Exo Man of War, and that is also the right question. The answer is Deadly Class. Deadly Class is like Harry Potter, Naruto meets Game of Thrones, and that is the way I love describing it, because people don't know what you're in for.
Yeah, I'm definitely digging his writing style. I want to check out more.
Did you dig Haha? I thought Haha was okay. It wasn't my favorite. What's my favorite Chuck Austin comics? Believe it or not, I actually have some. I like his War Machine, and he drew War Machine. He's an artist. Look, here's the thing. Like, I may not like his X-Men run. I may not like his Avengers run or his JLA. But I think there is some good in some storytellers that I'm not the biggest fan of. So yeah, War Machine, Boys of Summer. I don't know if anybody ever read that. That's a manga, an original American manga that he did after leaving Marvel Comics. It was printed by Tokyo Pop.
Bruce, thank you for the super chat.
Savage Sword of Conan had 235 issues. Volume 8 went to 118, so probably 8 more Omnis. I think Corey and his team actually had a number. Thank you again for the super chat, Bruce. Actually had a volume number planned, but now that Titan doesn't have to reprint all the other stuff like Kazar or Man-Thing, they're just strictly Conan. Maybe it won't be as much.
Let's see. So Sci-Fi is doing a revival as a series.
Oh gosh, it's on Sci-Fi.
What they do?
Yeah, it's on Sci-Fi. It's scary because it might get canceled, just like Deadly Class, which was a good show. Happy Batman Day. Oh, it is Batman Day today. Really wish DC would release Detective Comics Volume 6 in hardcover by Peter Tomasi and Brad Walker. Yeah, they've taken an interesting route to go trade paperback and then hardcover and then go back to trade paperback. So, yeah, I feel you.
Nocturne's asking if we ever get a tour of the basement where you explain how you set up the shelving and organize things. Do you not talk about that in the yearly tour? Like why you place these books together and such?
I thought I did. Or maybe it just...
I thought you did too.
Makes sense in my head. So I will.
I've got, let's see, something starred over here. Is Forever Evil any good?
Okay. Forever Evil actually starts off interesting. The premise of Forever Evil is there's a little bit of a time jump in the Justice League during the New 52 era where the heroes have gone missing and the villains from Earth 2 that are, you know, like what is his name? Night Owl and Ultraman. Characters that are like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman and Flash, Johnny Quick. Those characters have now taken over the role of being superheroes here on Earth. That's a cool premise. It's like, what happened to the heroes? Where are all the heroes? And then trying to kill Dick Grayson in that series again. I see you, Didio. I know you were trying to get rid of him again. But then towards the end, I think it kind of lost its steam. Like it just wasn't the ending that I thought it was going to be. And but it did start off strong, I thought. Yes, it's Chuck Austin drew an issue of Miracle Man.
That's a good question. It's unique and specific. Do you have a favorite run featuring Domino?
I really liked Domino's era of X-Force when she started off, but there's a little bit of a spoiler.
But that's not, I'm not going to say it. But
that's what I said.
Okay, well,
but I know you, so when you want to get excited and talk about something, you might spoil something on accident. So that's why I said, yeah. There's a couple miniseries or actually it was an ongoing series. It just kind of got canceled early on. Gail Simone did an amazing run on Domino. If you haven't read it, they're available in trade paperback. What's up, Doug? How you doing, buddy? Now, what would you say?
No, you're right. There's nothing to say without spoiling it.
That's why I didn't want to start it. Well, technically, actually, Conan Savage Sword will come out this Monday, and then the Marvel years will come out next week, I think. Trying to space them out a little bit because where I'm a little bit behind, I had to catch up on some reading and stuff.
I know.
But
I was confused because of the way the story was structured. What happens? I was like, wait, what? I did not catch it at all. That's what I could say.
Oh, the reveal?
Spoiling of it. Yeah.
When I was like, oh, two different places.
What's
up, Steve? How are you, brother?
Well, I can't find the question. Somebody was asking earlier how we met and how we both got into comics. I actually met him when he was married, and
you better speed that story up.
And but I mean, it was all like here, baby, because I can't tell what you're doing. But I was friends with his brothers and we all hang out, and then he got divorced and we became friends, and then we started dating. And I liked comics when I was in school, but then I kind of I read Spider-Man and Batman and X-Men. No, I didn't really read Batman, did I? Spider-Man and X-Men. And then, just by dating him, I started to get back into comics, and now I don't even play video games anymore. I don't have time. I just read comics.
Well, you played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You were all about that.
it just in general, like I'm like, oh, I want to play that game, but no, it's not going to happen because there's so many comics to read.
So let's see. I'll be honest, I haven't followed D. Gray Man. I haven't followed D. Gray Man in such a long time. I really like that series. I'll tell you what, I would pick it up if they do a complete collection of the manga in a box set. Okay, here, Cody. This is an excellent question. What are your thoughts on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manga and anime? You watched the anime. I read the manga.
I didn't get into it.
You were getting into it though. You were like,
I think I know myself. I wasn't.
Okay. Well, you can't remember anything, so that's why I remember you saying that you liked it.
What did I say? I said I liked it.
You like the music and you like how goofy it is. Yeah. Now, here's my thing. I've only read part 1 and I stopped reading at part 2. But everybody told me to continue reading part 2 to get to part 3 because it gets better and better. Because each version of JoJo is a different type of homage, like to an anime. So my brother Tommy's like, "Oh, there's even one that's like Ranma, like they homage Ranma," and I'm like, "Really?" In JoJo?
That sounds cool.
So I never did make it that far. So what was
favorite?
What was your favorite part? Like, what's your favorite JoJo part?
Like, actually, somebody's mentioned Firefly earlier. I just finished an audiobook version of the it's basically a fanfic, right? Mm-hmm. And I have it on a what is Mrs. B reading kind of thing in my classroom, and somebody's like, yeah, my parents tried to get me to watch that, but it was boring. And I was like, oh, the first episode's boring. You gotta get into it when all the characters are interacting with each other, and it's so good.
Hey, Dan, how are you? Have fun with your kids. JoJo part 5 was great. My brother loves part 4 and 3.
2.
See, I didn't even make it past all 2. I read 3 volumes of 2. Mm-hmm. John, I didn't know you were a manga guy. Stardust Crusaders is where JoJo, as people understands it, takes form. I thought you were just an Iron Man guy. So here I am.
That's all you're
assuming things out there. I didn't know. Look at all the JoJo fans. What? Oh, I love this question. Omar, how bad is Morrison's and Miller's Flash?
Here we go.
They introduce one concept that plays heavily into Morrison's run on JLA. So I think it's important to read, because when I was reading JLA, I hadn't read their Flash run, and I was so confused as to what happened to the character of Flash. It's like, why is he acting weird? But it's explained in the Flash run. So I think it's important to read if you've enjoyed JLA. Is it good? Not really. It's not that good of a story.
How's the Tom Taylor mini Dark Ages with Spidey, the Thing, Iron Man, and others? Since it's not in the Dark Web Omni, would it be in another Omni like Zeb's Spidey?
Oh, I don't think it's gonna be in an Omni. I think it'll be in its maybe like a gallery edition one day. Hey, Elon.
JoJo's overrated. Berserk is the greatest. Well, when you put it that way, they can both be good.
It's art inspired by art, right? Like if it wasn't for Fist of the North Star, we would have no Berserk and no JoJo. So really, let's give credit where credit is due, and that would be Fist of the North Star. But if you really want to give credit where credit is due, then you want to give credit to Mad Max. Again, art inspiring art. Without one thing, there would be no other.
And then it all comes back to The Simpsons. Everything's been done by The Simpsons. I was giving a thumbs up, but yes.
I am. I was actually joking around with Tina yesterday about how are they going to handle the character of Haposai? An old man that steals underage girls' clothing? Like, they can't do that these days. Very excited about Cheap Graphic Novel Sale, Nick and Dent books. Yeah, they're having a huge sale this weekend.
Oh, Berserk did.
Hey. He would have if given the chance, okay? All right, here we go. Here's the answer.
All parts are good, but the first 2 parts are very different than parts 3 through 9. My favorite part is part 5, Golden Wind. Definitely keep watching and reading. It changes in part 3, or at least watch Netflix anime. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Next one, baby.
Yeah, so they are very different. Awesome. Is Dark Age was fun. I really like Tom Taylor. Since it's Tom Taylor, it's better than Dark Web. Okay. Dark Web is stupid fun, right? That's different. Dark Ages was fun and like smart fun at that. So I hope you understand the difference. Stupid fun, like how is this even possible? Okay, I'm just along for the ride. Like that type of movie. I'm trying to think of like, what was the movie with Clive Owen? Where he eats a carrot, he kills a guy with a carrot stick. What was that?
Oh
I
yeah,
love that movie. What the heck was that movie called? It's like
Guns Ablazing.
No, okay.
I wanna
Why
say
did I ask you?
Knives Out. Yeah, I don't know.
I saw that there's 2 different steelbooks coming for Deadpool and Wolverine as well. Yeah. One's got Wolverine and the other one features Deadpool. Berserk is good, but not a masterpiece.
Oh, thank you for the super chat to tell us that. Oh, I like your picture though.
What would you consider? So to me, it's a masterpiece, right? Because I'm a big fan of, and I have been a big fan of Berserk since. Well, to be fair, the anime I watched in 1998. I didn't really read the manga until 2003 when it came out here for the first time in America. But I still consider it a masterpiece. Just the amount of layers that it has in complexity and art. What would you consider a masterpiece? Out of curiosity, because I always wonder when people, we all have a difference of opinion. Like, what are some of your favorites that you're like, okay, this is top tier? Compact Edition, Frank Miller's Ronin, also Jeff. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I'm sure those will come.
What does the Venom 3 popcorn?
Is anybody collecting popcorn buckets? Cody, you know where you
like misery.
you know where you can go with that attitude.
Wow, what a great criticism.
You should write for newspapers. Wait a minute, nobody's reading newspapers anymore.
Shoot them up. Thank you. Shoot them up.
Shoot them up. That's it. Thank you, Alex. I love that movie.
Trouble's a masterpiece.
Carlos Diaz, you are not allowed to say that on the channel. Dude, I've spoken about Toriyama. I know, but I didn't know you were that big of a fan of manga. Good on you, John.
The Eternauts getting adapted into a Netflix show?
No, I didn't see that. It's an excellent comic. It's an excellent comic.
I think we'll ever get a reprint of the X-Men Classic Omni. One of my faves. I feel like it needs to be on every X-Fans bookshelf.
Oh, yeah. It's an X-Men Omnibus. Of course it will. They just can't reprint all of them at one time, right? Make sure you vote for it, though.
When will we get the Star Wars Legends Omnibus? Why did I say it like that? For a Menace reveal Clone Wars and Revenge of Sith.
That would be the Clone Wars Omnibus. I don't know. They've talked about it before.
The Fist of the North Star song stuck in my head now.
Oh, Fist
long time.
What? That is not okay. No, sort of like that. That's sort of like that.
Oh, I'm about to play right now. Guess demonetized.
What?
What's the biggest Omni release in October?
Oh, there's a lot. Extinction Agenda. For me, it's Extinction Agenda because you know why that book is special? Right behind Melanie. That book is special because it was a book that I thought, okay, I'm going to take a shot. I've gotten Marvel to reprint oversized hardcovers in omnibus format before. But what if I put 2 oversized hardcovers together and you all voted for it? So 2 years in a row. The second year it was on the list and it made it to the top. I thought, oh, man, there's no way they're going to do it. And then to my surprise, they did it. So you all made that book happen. You all voted for it, and it is finally coming out in October. So that is one big win for the channel and a big win for you all too. If you voted for it, I'm torn in the Extinction Agenda Omnibus. I have New Mutants 1 through 3 already, and the event should be collected in Volume 4, right? So it's yeah. But I mean, you've got Jiminy Jillikers. That's an awesome name.
Jiminy Jillikers.
We've reached that point where no matter what, you're gonna double dip if you're getting more than one series, right? If you're collecting New Mutants, if you're collecting X-Men, because all of Extinction Agenda is going to be an X-Men whenever we get to that volume. All of it is going to be an X-Factor when we get to that volume. It's just like, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday on our AMA. The thing is like, there are people like me. I just can't wait that long because I know we're going to get it one day, but am I willing to wait or just get it now? That's the thing, right? It's like, if you're willing to wait, absolutely wait around on that New Mutants Volume 4. But there has been no announcement, no mapping of it. I mean, we've mapped it on Map My X, but yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. Congratulations. Good job passing your finals.
Congratulations.
And
yeah.
Do you think Gail Simone did a good job on Batgirl?
She did such a good job on Batgirl that I hated the idea of Barbara Gordon being Batgirl again, that she made me, they put the right person on that book. Because I think anybody else who would have had on the book, people would have immediately hated it. I know I was like that before I even read the first page. Because to me, Barbara Gordon is such an important character as Oracle that it's like you're backpedaling for her to become Batgirl again. It just didn't make any sense. But with Gail, Gail just made it work.
I'm so jealous of Hannah. I'm going to Tokyo for my 4th time this year. Can you recommend any good source for comics and manga collectors?
We really like Mandarake.
Oh man, you can find those fanzines.
Tina ratted you out yesterday. What you?
Oh yeah. They're not down here in the basement because we don't want the girls to find them.
Yeah, you're good.
It's hard to translate. I don't read them. They don't make any sense with Google Translate.
The Mandarake, and of course, Book Off. Book Off is wonderful because it's like secondhand. It used to be a lot cheaper, but my gosh, aisles and aisles of just used books. Yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Yeah.
If you like
so much more than books. Tons of stuff. We've got, let's do this question, then it's Cosmos Shop time.
Speaking of being married, if you guys are going to renew your vows, would you consider a comic theme celebration?
I was just thinking of our wedding this morning, so that's funny, Freddie, that you said that. Like,
we should do an eclipse.
Oh my gosh, let me go get.
Huh?
Let me go get. You know
what?
Do you caught? Let me go get.
I don't. Okay, I agree about Babs. Thank you. Epic collection is for poor people. That's all. I only say that when my boy Curtis is on the stream. If double dipping is wrong, I don't want to be right. Oh man. Hey Chris, how are you doing, dude? Did you see I knew you were going about Transformers 1. Good morning. Hope you awesome people are doing well. Hope you to see you guys at next year's Heroes Con. Yes, promise we will be there next year. We had a lot of fun at Heroes Con 2 years ago, and we want to go back. Last year we did Baltimore instead of Heroes Con, which some of my folks are over there right there now. P.S. I am excited to see Transformers 1 this weekend. I'm hearing good things. I really enjoyed it. My daughters enjoyed it. We had a blast watching it, and I hope you like it too. But we still have no quest complete. We have issues 1 through 3 and random omnis. Maybe you can make your own, right? Maybe you can make your own. Yes, we'll have an eclipse wedding with Griffith and Scott. Oh, thank you, brother, for asking about my dad. My dad is he was having a pretty good week. He's really tired a lot, because of dialysis, but he's doing okay. He's doing good. He's doing better. Thank you so much for asking, man. People who are married renew their vows. The people who divorce undo their vows. That is a good, excellent question. I just read Peacemaker Tries Hard and absolutely loved it. I know the character doesn't have a ton of back catalog, but are there any Peacemaker stories you like better? Yeah, Suicide Squad by John Ostrander. They're doing a DC's Finest Peacemaker book, which is so crazy because that character is so different than the one in the show. My cousin is getting married right now, but I'd rather be here with you. I won't say a word to your cousin. Epics are for epics people. Omnis are for omnipotent people. Very well played, Final Shadow. Hey, Dana, how are you doing? Is there a new TMNT compendium coming? 3 is the last one I heard of. Unless it changed, Extinction only collects New Mutants 95 through 97, 95, 96, and 97. That's right. And there's a large chunk of New Mutants, like the intro to Cable, that isn't collected yet in Omni. I think they're talking about how they're going to end up with Extinction Agenda in New Mutants Omnibus Volume 4, eventually. That story will be collected, and so will Days of Future Present, which is the other part that is in the Extinction Agenda Omnibus. Happy 55th birthday to Scooby-Doo. Best Scooby-Doo member and worst. Scooby-Dum is my least favorite, and the best was now that I've gotten older. No, you know what? No. Even Daphne. I have heard of Cerebus. I used to read Cerebus. I stopped reading Cerebus around issue 150, though, and I never went back. So I don't even know how it ended. Alan Moore's Swamp Thing in a compact size edition. Omar, if you ever get around to watching JoJo Part 5, you will see one of the biggest examples of Japanese people not understanding English. Jodeci's Freaking You is the... They play Jodeci? That's awesome. We do need Quasar.
So I think our wedding program is at school.
What? Why would you take it?
It's in my memory box.
So we have IKEA shelves that I use for the big books is the Kallax For the trade paperbacks, I use Billy's.
Can I show these? Do you mind?
Sure, go on.
Okay. So this was what my husband drew for our wedding invitation. It's Final Fantasy VIII.
Man, that was a long time ago.
And then, like I said, the actual wedding program is at school. But this was the cover.
Oh, yeah, our wedding program was a comic book. Of course,
He
I had
drew
to
a comic. Like, but this doesn't have the words. Like I said, this is like a rough draft of it. But he had like parodies of movies with all of the people in the wedding party and parents, and yeah. So again, this is the rough draft. I was really proud of it. It was awesome, and that's why I love you, because you're creative.
I thought if we were going to get married, I'm going to have a comic book in there somewhere.
I walked down the aisle to Vampire Hunter D's theme, and you walked into Kill Bill's Battle That Honor Humanity, and you had Locke on the cake, and I had Death from Sandman, and we walked out to Locke's theme.
From Final Fantasy VI.
The song in the middle by Switchfoot was just a normal song.
Normal people.
Did you show John's?
Yeah. Oh my God, John. John said he had a good question for me today.
John, thank you. And
rank
and
Aunt
we'll
May.
do Cosmo Shop.
Rank Aunt May's boy toys from best to worst. Good for May and in the hay.
Good for May. And
Boy, you put a lot of thought into this. Ben Parker, Willie Lumpkin, J. Jonas Jameson Sr., Edwin Jarvis, Doc Ock, Nathan Lubinski, and Richard Parker. I'm going there. What is wrong with you, dude? Okay. From best to worst, well, she married Uncle Ben, so you know that was good. So I'm going to put Ben, best. Second, you know, I feel like Doc Ock has a lot of built-up aggression, so I'm going to go with Doc Ock as second. Third, Jarvis. He's British. He's a gentleman. He treats the ladies right. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Jarvis next. Fourth, Willie Lumpkin, based on Stan Lee. Or no, Stan Lee played him in the movie. Maybe now you just can't get Stan Lee out of my head. So, fourth, Willie Lumpkin. Fifth, this is where it gets harder. Because I'm going to go with Nathan. He's an old dude. Nathan's an old dude. And then J. Jonah Jameson. He ain't hurt nobody. And then Richard Parker. Final answer. There you go. I hope you got your money's worth, you freak.
Good last answer.
Good last answer, Richard Parker. Yeah, that's creepy. I love that he brought him in. Here, go to.
We've just really quick. We gotta go. Beat Cosmos. This I bought it offline. I can't remember. Like Dazzle.
Bedazzler?
No, not Bedazzler. Is that not T? I think Zazzle. One of those like print to order things. Sorry. Okay. BD Cosmos is a sponsor for this here live chat that you're watching right now.
Okay. They're based out of Montreal, Quebec. Website is bdcosmos.com. They're a Canadian leader in graphic novels. 25% off your order of 99 Canadian dollars or more. Free shipping everywhere in Canada. And like shipping sturdy boxes for 200 Canadian dollars or more. You can tell them to hold your box together until you get to the $200 mark and ship it. Let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers, and that's
BD Cosmos with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Hey,
more beautiful.
beautiful. Thank you. Where? Here. The Extinction Agenda issues are going to be in a title-centric omnibus. It is the first true crossover in that all 9 chapters are one story, so it's going to be in the X-Men Volume X.
Yeah, fill in the blank.
Oh, okay. New Mutants Volume 4, etc. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. It will be. You're gonna own that story 3 different times. I can't believe there was a time where we didn't have Longshot in omnibus format, and now Longshot is in 3 different omnis.
There's actually quite. There's these are the
So
rough drafts.
that's just crazy that we live in a time where we
I found
have
the rough drafts.
Longshot in 3 different omnis. That's so awesome. Have you ever heard Curtis say "A"? Yeah, I have. And you know what's funny? I told him, I'm like, I'm not racist at all because I don't even call you out on it. And he was like, I don't think that's the definition of racism. It was so many years ago. This was so many years ago. I was like, I never noticed, man. He's like, I do it. Hey, Omar, do you think we'll ever get a Marvel Alien versus Predator omnibus? I certainly hope so.
No. Let's see.
BD Cosmos supports Aunt May's love life. Love Vincent Price. He made everything better. Quite the chef also. I'm going to own it once or twice because I have Extinction OHC. Oh, you're going to own it more than that, buddy. You have a channel that relies on X-Men. And we're talking about X-Men, all New Mutants, X Factor. Good morning. I realize it's been over 2 years since Hulk Grand Design came out. If you could choose the next Grand Design, which Marvel character and independent creator would you go with?
Oh.
I guess it would have to be Spider-Man, right? I know that we have Life Story by Chip Zdarsky, but
Spider-Man's fine.
Spider-Man.
I'd read it. Other people read it. We buy it.
And Sholey as well, since he did the Fantastic Four one. I like to see him do another one. Maybe expand it a little bit more than the FF. Omar, do you know if Skybound can collect Marvel UK comics or Transformers? I would assume they can. I don't know why.
Oh, Daredevil. That's a good answer.
That is a good one. I'm assuming Spider-Man would be the one they do next, but yeah, Tom Scioli.
Don Rosa doing Howard the Duck. Do it.
He would never. Omar, as I have seen for your videos, like you like Street Fighter. What's your opinion on Street Fighter 6, the comic? I just got the manga in. I haven't so the last one that I read was Street Fighter Days of the Eclipse. It started weird, and because I didn't expect it to be like a murder mystery type of book, I'm expecting to see like people fighting. So it's okay. It's not my favorite. I still love the Street Fighter Origins. The Legends some of them are excellent. I was hoping they would do more on like Super Street Fighter and Street Fighter 3 era. That's my favorite. Omar, your review of Trigon made me buy the Deluxe. I hope you enjoy it. I really hope you enjoy it, man. It's so good.
And Udon sent these. It's a button.
Oh yeah,
the
little
pin,
pins.
not a button, a pin. Yeah, is it cute? Oh my god! Here, I'll go show others.
My contact at Udon is super sweet. She knows that my daughters collect pins, so she always sends pins whenever she sends me books for reviews. Because Udon does a lot of cool things, including that big art, like the print books they're selling that you saw on the thumbnail.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they're doing this. I haven't seen Joe Chen's art like in oversized format in a long time, but it's got like the variant covers. It's got Arnold Sang back here too.
Well, how they are. And these. And Super Fighting Robot Mega Man. I recommend the only Mr. Miracle story I've read, and that is by Tom King and Mike Gearads. So good. One of my top 10 favorite books.
Mitch
Garrett. Yeah. You sorry.
Okay.
What? Yeah. What? One of my favorites.
Fourth World. You can't go wrong. Fourth World.
It started weird, and then it got weirder. Every X-Men story ever.
Especially with Grant Morrison. What got me to start this channel? I used to have a podcast in 2005 to 2007 or 2008. We had a podcast, and we had a lot of fun. But then, you know, we started getting in our 30s, started having kids, more than one baby. So we all kind of drifted apart. And then in 2015, I asked my friends if they were interested in doing a YouTube channel. And sure enough, everyone that used to do the podcast said yes, with the exception of Chris, who is working at DreamWorks Animation.
Yeah,
in Liberty, California.
He is kind of good.
And then we got Tina involved. So that's kind of, it started as a panel show. And then I expanded that to collected editions just because that's my forte. And I love talking about those things. And I started seeing more and more people actually gravitating towards those videos. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'd like to.
All right, I need to answer this question. So you go ahead and read your things first, but I need to keep this up there just in case because I like this question.
Okay, gotcha. I am a high school English teacher, and I pick students of the week, and I like to announce them. So for this week on, we have a block schedule on Navy Days. Tessa in film studies, congratulations, you're student of the week. You're doing a terrific job. And in second period creative writing, Kenna, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for your help and for not giving up on your story. Kyler in fourth period creative writing, thank you for your help. And again, just being a terrific writer. Let's see, on Green Days in film studies, Catherine, you're doing a terrific job. Thank you. You're student of the week, along with Kalina in third period. You're doing a terrific job. Thank you. And finally, Damon in fourth period. I'm proud of your work ethic and you're getting things done. Good job.
Okay. I just added a banner for next week. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I really like this question. After Fist of the North Star hardcover completes with volume 18, any idea if they will publish Fist of the Blue Sky? We never got all of Fist of the Blue Sky here in America. Was it Comics One? They were putting it out here, but we never completed it. I would love that. However, I know that Viz doesn't have the rights to that yet because they're different licenses because it was printed in another magazine. So I hope so. I hope so. I hope it sold well enough that they're like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and put it over here. Thank you for that wonderful suggestion, Kane.
William says, whatever happened to the DC Marvel crossover Omni?
It got delayed until October, I believe. That's the latest I see.
What are the likelihood of a Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 5? No.
Very, very likely,
okay.
Because
I'm tempted by the death of, but I want the best choice available to me.
I have no idea when it will come out, though. But I was told that it's going to be mapped different. So I don't know. And I don't know if that map difference, like adding one issue, taking away one. I don't know. Speaking of Fourth World Omnis, Absolutes. Oh my gosh, those are beautiful. The design on the Absolutes are beautiful. Jack Kirby's pages look stunning in Absolute format.
Where do I start with Conan?
So Conan, the beauty of Conan is you can start at any volume. Because Conan is one of those stories that it's not a sequential story that keeps going on. Like, it's not a chronological story. You're not reading Conan from the age of 7. And then by the time you get to volume 5, he's in his 20s. Volume 10 gives you his 30s. It's just at any point, it's a different part of his life. Sometimes he's older. Sometimes he's younger. King Conan is when he is older. He's married and he has a son. So you can start anywhere, really. And sometimes different creators would jump on the book and adapt the same Robert E. Howard story. I got a copy of Superman Triangle Years Omni yesterday. I can't believe it's finally real. It is real, man. It's so beautiful.
Diebreed Collectors was saying earlier, guess who I went to Baltimore Con with yesterday? I'll give you a hint. It was Omni Dog. Oh, and you guys went to Miss Shirley.
Oh, man. Wait. Why are you crying?
Because we weren't there to go to.
Oh.
Yeah. Aw,
did we go to Johnny to Miss Shirley's?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Yeah, man. I'm glad my buddy's doing good.
Remembering. Yeah, let's go. And Pablo Cristo saying thank you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a lot of fun. How many Omnis did you have when you first started the channel?
How many Omnis? My gosh.
They were upstairs in the living room. It was just one bookshelf.
Honestly, I had every one of them with the exception of Golden Age stuff. I had sold them by then. I had decided that, this is not for me. And even some of the Silver Age stuff that I had, it just wasn't for me. But I had every single Marvel and DC ones that were available at that time. So
who won the Micronauts giveaway?
Oh, that's coming at noon.
Okay. Miss Shirley's is great.
Yes, it's excellent. Tyler and I went to eat there with Jess and Fariha a few years back. Hi guys, hope you are keeping well. DC versus Marvel Omni. This is Read Comics, by the way, based out of the UK, and one of the wonderful people that donated some gift cards. By the way, all the gift card information has been sent out to the appropriate parties. DC versus Marvel Omnibus Volume 1, or the October 29th, DC versus Marvel The Amalgam is the Amalgam's been moved to December 31st. Oh, yikes. That's interesting. Thank you so much, Reed. if you haven't already, can you show off that Extinction Agenda Omnibus dust jacket? Of course, you know how hard I fought for that wanted dust jacket, man. Oh, I even tried to trick Marvel. I'm like, oh, did you all mean to send me this file? And they were like, no, we wanted to send you the updated file. I was like, oh, okay. Jim Lee, baby. Extinction Agenda. This is when the X-Men are reunited.
How good that looks.
Because that's Jim Lee, man.
Look at Jubilee in the corner.
That's Rob Liefeld Jubilee. Man, this was my childhood, dude. I love this crossover.
Okay, let me take the dust jacket off.
Like, it would have been cool if underneath the dust jacket they had the wanted poster, but instead, oh, it looks like it's the reunion. It's the reunion between young Storm and Jean. Again, Jim Lee. I guess when you have Jim Lee, you got to use that. Oh, look what's in here. The Kings of Pain storyline, Melanie, that you read.
Oh, yeah, an X-Force. Yay, I know. Is that an event? Would you consider that an event? Or is it just a crossover? Like, hello?
It's a crossover between...
Okay. Well, yay, I recognize an old story. Yeah, I like the design of this one. Arthur says it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Brian says the art is so good. Ramos Prime Loop says can't wait for that Omni. And Rodimus,
look at that.
Omar went to the movies with the girls yesterday to see Transformers.
Cable's like, get out of our danger room. The New Mutants are here to take over.
Oh, let me see. Now that makes me want
I
to read
love Jim Lee's Cable. He draws such a good Cable. The confrontation between the X-Men and the New Mutants. We haven't seen this, man. You all have no idea unless you were living during this time how big of a deal this was. That we'd been separated for so many years because of the Siege Perilous. Some of these characters didn't even remember. I mean, that's what makes 270 a big deal when you have Havoc, a villain now, with the magistrates from Genosha coming and destroying the mansion. Oh man, this so good. And then we get the first death in here. Liefeld's art, when it's inked by like Joseph Rubinstein, looks so strange though. Anyway, that's gonna be a long video.
Well, did he ink the Jubilee?
Yeah, that's him inking.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was surprised he drew it because I like it.
Well, when he inks himself, I actually dig his artwork.
Oh, let's see. William has all of the creators' signatures on my Extinction hardcover. Don't want to upgrade. Will I be missing a lot if I have the other Uncanny Omnibus?
I don't know if you'd be missing a lot. A lot of it, like, here's like things that I get excited for, that a lot of us got excited for, is things like this. Like, this is God Country by Innocenti and Rick Leonardi. This has never been printed in an oversized format. It had one little skinny trade paperback back in the 90s, man. This is from a Marvel Comics Presents story. Oh, it's so good. Look at that art by Leonardi. Al Williamson, I believe, is the inker on this particular story. But it was originally printed in the Marvel Comics Presents, and that's never been collected in omnibus format. And again, you know, perhaps these stories will be collected one day in Uncanny. Oh my gosh, I forgot they added this in here. It's the Marvel Comics Presents Pharaoh's Legacy. This has never been collected.
Cool.
Who's at the door? Somebody's at the door. You want to see who's at the door?
Yeah, I will. Bar.
Anyway,
I'm sure Omar will recommend an Omni to take on the plane, right?
Find Rome on Monday. So if anybody here has a recommendations of a good book, comic books, figures, yeah, go read Berserk. Go read Berserk. I love Transformers 1. Brother, how are you feeling? 2025 will be the X-Men readathon for me, starting with Chris Claremont and Jim Lee Omnibus. And that's in the aftermath. Like, that particular omnibus, it's such a weird place to start, because I think people think animated show, this is Jim Lee, and it's nothing like that, because it's the remains of the Outback era. It's the aftermath of Inferno, and the X-Men are just getting ready to break up hard, man. Huntress? Yeah, Huntress Origins is fun. Star Wars Legends Rebellion Volume 3 is coming in June. I hope that we will see the Old Republic Volume 2 soon. So neither of the costume that Cyclops wears on both the Prelude to the Mutant Massacre and Extinction Agenda variant covers are his actual costume. No, not the Extinction Agenda. That's they redrew that, because the original picture was Wolverine, Cable, and Archangel to represent the 3 different teams. It's a one here. I'm sure it's in the back here. It was a wanted poster. So you're talking, this is the original cover. Perfect. Right here. See that? And then later on, they put this in just so people knew who, more people probably knew who Cyclops was than Cable. I don't know. I never understood why they did that. But it's based on a house hat that was a wanted poster. Yeah, look at this. This is what I wanted, man. I wanted that as the cover. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, man, y'all need to make me stop looking at that book. I'm gonna make this whole video about that book. Will I do an overview of the Moon Knight by McKay? Of course I will. Whenever I get it. Worst Deadpool Omni. I am not a fan of Daniel Way's Deadpool run. Omar, when you think Wolverine, who's Wolvie are you picturing? John Burns, John Buscema, Mark Silvestri. That's for me. For me, it's Silvestri and Buscema. Mark Silvestri, I think actually Buscema because of maybe his Logan. Okay, what is Bar's full question? What are your favorite adaptations of independent comics, both film and TV? I'm a big fan of the original Ninja Turtles movie. I was a big fan of that. Cartoon wasn't really at all like that, but I'm a big fan of the movie. Scott Pilgrim movie's a lot of fun too. I remember when you used to get Hershey's for a nickel. Wow, nickel.
Wolverine by Jim Lee, then John Byrne. I just dropped by to ask a question. Why can't I find anything on the upcoming Web of Spider-Man Omnibus?
Hasn't been solicited yet. No, we did solicit it last time. So you should be seeing some information about it.
Superior or $20.99 if you had to
choose. It's $20.99. Peter David.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Peter David, man.
That makes sense. Hey, Graham, if you had to delete one run, would it be Chuck Austin's X-Men or Daniel Way's Wolverine?
Daniel Way's Wolverine. Yeah. That one. Oh, that was rough to read for me.
Do you think there will be a Deathstroke by Christopher Priest Omni Rebirth era reprint in 2025?
Was it voted in our top 20? Because I shared that list with them. I don't know.
Will you do an overview of Hot Paprika? Or would you have to blur everything?
No, I'll do it. I mean, I've done most of other books. I did like Loveless, right? And I had to blur out some things.
Got my copy of Mutant Massacre Prelude in this week and love it. Held off on getting Uncanny Volume 5 and X Factor 1. Worried about not getting the letter pages. Can't read. Glad they added them to Mutant Massacre Prelude.
I was surprised they did that instead of putting it in X Factor.
Hey, Will. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Thanks, hermano. Tú también.
And
Halftime time. Is it Walt's time? Almost there.
Okay, let's do
Newsflash. Web Spider-Man releases March 19th of 2025. Thank you for that. Read.
And Carlos wants to mark it on his giveaway.
Oh, okay. I will. I promise. Give me a minute. We still got a minute. Let's get some questions in there. So I get that nobody here knows any comic book stores in Rome. Nice.
Surely there are some.
I read that with an attitude. Do you think she had attitude when she said that? It's Bar. I assume she had attitude. Hi, do you know if there's an Epic collection that contains the Revenge of the Living Monolith graphic novel? No, not yet. That's a Havoc story. No, not yet. It's one of the graphic novels that came out originally.
Is it difficult to get into Wolverine Volume 3 if you can't get your hands on Volumes 1 or 2?
No. As a matter of fact, I think it's a great jumping on point because that's exactly what Larry Hama wrote it to be. A jumping on point for the character because so many stories had happened, and he's like, I'm going to take this character. If you have any time, go and watch that interview I did with him. He's such an amazing person and a great creator. So, yes, I caught the GoBots in TF1. I even caught the joke, dude. What's his name? Peel. He does a voice of Bumblebee, and he.
Oh, he does. That's awesome.
And it gets funny because it's he has made some friends because he's been by himself. So he names his friends, like he just puts robot pieces together. And one of them, he calls him Atron. That was stupid and funny.
Did you tell Ramos Prime what you thought of it?
Yeah, I told him I liked it.
Good.
Like my girls liked it.
Yeah, is your LCS celebrating Batman Day? Like doing something special for it, or just because? Like, you're celebrating it. It's fun to watch your reading order videos and realizing how many Omnis have been released so far. Ooh.
It's going to be crazy to go back and revisit some of those reading orders with how many new books we've had over the years. Wolverine 3 is a perfect jumping on point for Wolverine. I completely agree.
Okay,
are we going to get a Dazzler Omnibus overview? Yes, it's whenever I get it. I promise. Well, I have to read it first. I can't just get it. But luckily, I had read the Dazzler Masterworks. But I do want to do the overview justice. So it takes me a little bit to get through them. That's why Conan, I didn't just open the box and say, here's Conan, because I do want to do a fair comparison and look at the paper stock and see how the lettering compares and if there was any changes. So it takes me a little bit. I usually try to do it the week before the book comes out. That's usually my schedule. And if you live in Europe and you're wondering where to get these big books, you can go to waltzcomicshop.com. They're based out of Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC big books within the EU. Flat shipping rates of €12 for all EU countries and bulletproof packaging. And all emails answered within 24 hours. They have a selection of big books every month. And I did put that in the description of the video, what they're having a big sale on this particular month of September. And exclusively for our viewers, you can use the code NearMidCondition at the checkout to get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over €40 or more. And that's
Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ting, ting, ting.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Beautiful.
Gracias.
And don't forget to smash that like button while you're here. No, it did not. So let me tell you about this. So James is saying Savage Sword of Conan came out this week. It wasn't supposed to. I'm not going to say any names, but somebody done messed up at one of the distributions. It wasn't supposed to come out until October, which is the official date, which is why I haven't done a video.
Did it come out?
Yes.
James is correct.
If you ordered it through a certain distributor, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus.
You're both right.
Because the other distributor actually held, to what the standards of the publisher was. I think what happened is somebody said, well, these books are in and taking up space. Let's get rid of them, which happens from time to time. But the actual date is not until October that it's supposed to come out.
Great. This is a great suggestion for Bar. Yes. I mean, I know you're saying the name of the comic book store in Rome. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So good. I read it in one setting. Like, yes. Oh, that would be perfect for the plane. Have you read it, Bar? Oh, it's so good. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Omar did work in IT.
I did, man. 20 years. I'm a field service engineer in Tennessee. You really enjoyed it? I used to do field service engineering too, man. I did it for 20 years of my life. I ended up being a project manager for the last 7 years of my IT career. Enjoyed your top 10 most wanted Spidey Omni. Surprised no DeFalco and Friends Omni post Black Suit. I would prefer post Clone Saga to be lined wide since it double dips. Oh, it's going to be a huge double dip. But I figured if they do it, I don't know how well it would sell though, right? That was why I put it all in one book.
My teens aren't what they used to be. I am tired today, if that maybe that's influencing.
They're not feeling your teens? You're not feeling the teens.
I'm not feeling.
No, I'm not done. I'm done
I'm
brushing
feeling
my teeth.
Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, though. Apparently, that made me wake up. Oh, it's so good. Oh, man. What do you think about the letter joke in the Ultimates?
The new Ultimates? I haven't been reading it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the trade paperback.
I was just talking about it yesterday that I forget to buy it. So I guess at this point I'll read the trade because it's on issue 5 maybe or something.
Oh, sure, Omar, you want to do your job properly. This is the internet. The only thing that matters is anger and speed. Yeah.
But
you seriously asking me if I've read Woman of Tomorrow? Do you know me? I've had both the trade paperbacks.
It's going to be an absolute?
Yeah. Why do you get excited every time I say that?
Just like, no, I remember Miss Miracle's coming to Absolute. Is that next month?
No, it's going to be a bit. Oh,
I thought it was this year.
Mr. Miracle, I think it is this year. Supergirl's next year. Did that get announced? I don't think it got announced, Bart.
He gave you Berserk, but that's don't read Berserk.
Go read Berserk on the plane.
Which is most likely to sell out first? Avengers by Busek Perez, Volume 2, Spidey, Melanie Bagley, or Marvel vs. DC?
Well, Marvel vs. DC is going to have a one print run, right? That's it. Until the next printing. Who knows how long that's going to be. Spidey, you know what? I'm gonna say Avengers by Busiek and Perez. They have 3 different covers, and it's also a reprint, meaning that it's.
I love True Grit.
It's what's it called? It's got a smaller print run. Rather watch True Grit,
I love True Grit
than read Supergirl Woman
I
of
read
Tomorrow.
the book because I like the movie so much.
Which version of True Grit? Like, you like the John Wayne version, which had the proper eye patch in the right side of the, or do you like the dude? Bridges?
Yes, Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Which version did you like?
Wait, did I see the John Wayne version?
Yeah, I showed it to you.
Oh, okay. Which one did I like better?
Oh, you like the Jeff Bridges version. He reminds you of your dad.
Yeah.
Wayne doesn't really. Wayne's a little over the top sometimes. Everybody, this is my friend Dom of X, who you may have seen on the channel.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, chat.
And Near Zero saying thank you to the YouTube comics community. Near Minute returning to comics after decades long dark age. Learning a lot, reading a lot. Oh, that's terrific! Yay!
Thank you. Dom did the video on the upcoming DC's solicitations for me while I was in LA. So it's good to have Dom on the channel helping me out. Otherwise, that video would not have come out on time. Cougar of X in the building. Is that what they call you, Dom? Is that
that was in response to the story I told about with the lady giving me the free Wonder Woman comics.
Oh,
just some random lady gave you some comics?
No, she's a lot older, but it's one of the sweetest people I know, and well.
Oh, you can't share stories like that on the internet without somebody perversing it, Dom.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Omar, Melanie, what are your favorite modern artists?
Dom as well.
Peach Momoko, Art Germ, David Nakayama, Jenny Frizen, Miko Suyan, Parillo, Scotty Young.
I like Scotty Young. I like Peach Momoko. Not every single.
Do you like
thing,
her sequential art or her covers?
No, I like her covers. Yeah, I like her covers.
I'm gonna go with Dan Mora. He can do some covers and sequential art. I think those are wonderful.
Dan Mora. I love Dan Mora.
I just said Dan Mora.
Oh,
like you're not even listening to me like at all.
Because I was trying to remember who I liked.
I was trying to think of the artist on Moon Knight. I really like that artist.
Alessandro Cappuccio.
Cappuccio, yeah, that guy's awesome.
Marco Cacchetto.
Casagrande, who did the Captain Marvel with Kelly Thompson.
And Black Widow
is amazing. Yes, and Black Widow.
On Batman.
Oh, Jorge Jimenez?
Yeah, Jorge Jimenez.
Guy can do some good sequential art too.
Yeah. I'm
trying to think of who else that I really like.
What about you, Dom?
Oh man, Leonardo Romero and quickly Hayden Sherman, man.
Hayden's killing it these days.
They're doing 2 books the next couple months. You know, they're doing Absolute Wonder Woman and Batman Dark Patterns with Dan Waters, and I'm just like, shoot, man. I don't even know how you could do that. That's like unheard of nowadays.
Dan Moore is 100% my favorite current artist in comics. Modern day Jose Luis Garcia
Lopez, yeah.
Oh wow,
that's Jenny Frizen, right?
Yes, yep, Jenny Frizen.
See, I like Jenny Frizen's covers, but she doesn't really do internal artwork. For me, I think if you're talking about comic book artists, I have to go with internal art. And if they're good at being, a sequential artist. Omar, I got you a signed copy of Ultimate X-Men for Peach Book. Did you really do? Thank you. How long did you have to stand in line? Where were you?
Yeah, she's got lines up.
Dude, her lines are because she would give free remarks. And then 2 years ago when we went to New York Comic Con, and then she said, I don't think I can do that again.
Yeah.
My wrist is swollen. Because what was happening is, this is going to happen whenever people give free remarks, especially somebody that is getting bigger and bigger, that people were getting back in line to get another remark. And I was like, that's messed up. Because you would see it. They would leave the line and then go back to the line to get in line again to get another free sketch. Dan Warren Johnson's a good one.
Yes, I do.
Oh, Marco Cacchetto, but I don't know.
I said that.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah, Melody did say that like 2 minutes
is that
ago.
not modern?
You know what? It's modern. It's Dan Warren Johnson, also modern. They're old school now. They're the old guard now. They've been around. You've been around for more than 5 years. You're old. Coen Brothers.
Every time I see Michael Jannon's art, it reminds me of something seen before in a book or like in a movie. Feels like he uses models to draw. His Batman run was the Uncanny Valley for me.
Really?
Oh, you know who I like? Jamal Ingle on
yeah,
The
good
Wrong
choice.
Earth. Yes,
Good
I
choice.
love. Oh man, guys, I highly recommend The Wrong Earth from Ahoy Comics. Who's writing it?
That's Tom Payer. Used to work
Yes,
at DC
yes,
Comics. Did
and
some
drawn by
Legion of
Jamal
Superheroes.
Ingle, and it's
Metaphor, if I have a recommendation for you, Janen's art style has completely changed since he started coloring. He's going to be on Detective Comics with Tom Taylor, and his art compared to 6-7 years ago, it's gone so much better.
I like this art. It was beautiful people, beautiful men, beautiful women. It was just everybody was pretty.
stood in line for 6 hours.
Oh, dude, she attended a con.
That is so awesome.
Thank you, man.
Oh, I don't think I could do that for even they might be giants. I think I'd be like, I'm good.
I couldn't do that for
Paul Rubens. I stood in line for
Pee Wee
3
Herman.
hours.
Pee Wee Herman.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Melanie. Omar, thank you for the super chat. Thomas, what is the best Marvel event ever, and why is it Earth X? Why is it nobody talks about Kruger and Jean-Paul Leon's Earth X? I think it's an excellent series. You know, Jim Kruger is actually a big collector of Omnis. He's a huge collector of Omnis, so I know it was I know he had to been happy to see his Earth X Omnis, the 2 volumes, come out. The best Marvel event. That's tough. I mean, it's tough to choose for me between something like Secret Wars, and the 2015 Secret Wars was just epic, but it's also the conclusion of like a lot of the Hickman stories, especially in Avengers, which I understand that's why it's being collected all together, because that's the way Jonathan Hickman wants it collected. So it's going to be a huge double dip if you have his Hickvengers Omnis. The original Secret Wars, I think, is quite excellent, but maybe something modern too. Like, I think, I don't know, Infinity Gauntlet.
I just wanted to point out Chris's comment about, just found out a few days ago about John Cassidy's passing. His Planetary X-Men was everything to me. Yeah.
His Astonishing X-Men is what brought me back to comics and made me stay in comics.
My name is Astonishing.
Yeah, he was a powerhouse, man, and a young guy. 52 is not old.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not fair.
Jeez. I really think Marvel should do a BC Presents Omni and collect Marvel's Marvel X and snapshots. Oh, that's cool.
How about a Marvelous Omnibus?
Mm.
Marvelous Omnibus. Right? That would be good.
I think I'm going to, like I said, I'm really tired. I think I'm going to take the rest of the afternoon off.
You gonna make it the Dom and Omar show?
Yeah, make it the Dom and Omar show.
I almost said Domar, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's my show. It should be I'm Dom.
Domar.
Right. Give me a kiss, and I'll take over.
Thank you, Dom, for joining us. And you guys, everybody else, have a great week. And here's your kiss.
All right, thank you.
And there's your
bye, Melanie.
Bye.
Love you, baby.
Which Superman series is your favorite?
I am a huge fan of John Byrne's Superman, Man of Steel. It's got it brought me to the character because I was a Marvel guy. Marvel, X-Men. Then I'm like, they're revamping Superman. I'll give it a shot. I'll go back in. There was an old trade paperback of that series that came out many years ago in like the late 80s. So that's always been a special place in my heart. The Triangle era is one of my favorites. But honestly, I'm not a guy that's stuck in the past. I really like new stories too. So Superman by Tomasi has been excellent, or was excellent. That's over. But Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman kind of reminds me of that era of the Triangle years too. So that was a lot of fun. Again, I'm not
those 2 omnibuses.
I hope they actually do them. Dom. There we go. That's what we is. Omar, are you gonna read the Absolute DC line? Not until it comes out in collected editions, but I know my buddy Dom wants to start reviewing them on his channel. So
yes, I am going to start 1 or 2 brand new series. I'm working with a possible sponsor right now to get me some of those copies, but I will definitely be reading all the Absolute line and more.
And what are you all up to? We are here answering questions. Have you heard of the recent DC firings and reshufflings? No, and I'll be honest, I don't really talk about these things until I know for sure what's happening. Because whenever things like this happen, you're going to hear it all over the internet. You're going to hear rumors, and until I get some say, it's business as usual. The same thing happened a few years ago. It's always business as usual here on the channel, unless I hear about somebody being my new contact, or maybe somebody's in charge of a different department. Omar, what was your favorite era?
He saw the Omar, and then he read the second half of the line.
I hate that question so much. I did not have a favorite era of Alf. How old is Dom? He looks 16. He does not look 16. It's because he has a Squirtle behind him. That's why he looks 16. He's older than that. My man, this is his channel right here, by the way.
James.
Go ahead. How old are you, Dom, if you don't mind saying?
I am 23 years old. I am getting my master's degree, and I have 4 full-time hobbies, but I'm not tired.
4 full-time hobbies. The man, being in his 20s, not tired. Really quick, I need to announce the winners of the Micronauts. All right. First winner, this person will get first choice of the cover. So you have 2 covers to choose from. You've got this cover. They're both the direct market covers. I kept the standard for myself. And this cover. So you could choose which cover. And that is Chris Nort 5878. You can choose the cover. Sorry, I was supposed to be holding both up. Email me nearmancon@gmail.com, please. I've already messaged you. And the second winner is Santiago Myth 6385. Please email me at nearmancon@gmail.com. Congratulations. I'm an idiot. I just have 60 packages to ship out, and I just gave myself more work, but that's okay. That's okay. Dom looks like he gets carded when he buys milk. He doesn't look that young. Tiredness will come.
Hey, I drink a lot of milk, man. I mean, it's not a, I don't know what you call it, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Tryouts.
What are your full-time hobbies, Dom?
That is a great question. YouTube. Maintaining my own website, which I have stuff planned. Well, by my own website, I mean mine and comic releases. Basketball. And playing piano.
I know you play the piano. And thank you all so much. Congratulations. Congratulations. Omar, I hope I'm not being rude for asking. I won lot 49 a couple weeks ago. I got an email. My price was contested by other people a few days after the giveaway. Is there any way I can help the process? Other than be patient, because I'm doing this myself. It's, hold on a second. Yeah, there's a few email, like I can't tell if it's your email address or not. It looks like you're the same person, but then I got another email from Gorek at Q. Is that you? I think I emailed you. Yeah, I did email you back. Did you not get my email? Like, all right, do me a favor. Email me right now while you're here. Okay. Oh, yeah, that is you. Okay. Give me some time. This process takes, you should have gotten an email back because I emailed, it was September 8th. I emailed you. So email me right now just to make sure I got the right email address. I'm in the same boat. Someone tried to claim my price. Yeah, this happened to 3 different lots, but I think I've gotten, I've got to know at least 2 of them right. So it happens every time. It's okay. We'll get to it. I promise. Dom, if it's okay to ask, what are you studying? Hope your studies are going well.
I'm trying, man. I mean, the classes have somewhat been a pain in the butt, especially with one of them, but I'm having fun. I'm studying business analytics, but there is a concentration of computer science along with my studies. I'm further trying to increase my literacy in different programming languages. So that has been a fun recourse for me, and hopefully it lands me somewhere in the next 2 years.
Got it. You did not sound rude. But yeah, I do try to tell people to be patient. I think in the email I said, please be patient because it's a lot of work to put all these things together. I promise. I only collect softcover DC unless they just don't release them in trade paperback, which for the most part, they do end up releasing everything.
I am actually interested continue the same hardcover and trade paperback sort of thing for the Absolute line, or if they're just going to go straight to hardcover or trade for those.
Yeah, they've been doing some interesting choices of releasing the same day, only hardcover, only softcover. It kind of gets a little bit confusing if you're a collector. I like to study why Marvel hasn't given us a Mike Carey X-Men omnibus. One day, hermano. Just don't get an English degree. My BA is useless. Well, can you teach?
My friend has a English degree and he's in law school now.
That's what that's what my buddy Dan Without Fear, he had an English and Greek. He majored in English and minored in Greek. And ended up going back to law school. I only collect soft cover DC. Oh, I just read that. Omar and Dom, what are some of the best horror manga you'd recommend for Spooktober besides Junji Ito? That is an excellent question. Dom, do you read horror manga?
I do not read horror manga, but my friend has, and I feel ashamed because I should have a recommendation off the top of my head.
Have you read any Junji Ito?
I have read multiple, and I've recommended them to people at my comic shop when I work there.
Gotcha. Okay. I would go with any Go Tanabe adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft. It would be a crime if I don't mention Berserk any chance I get. Berserk is pretty good. Battle Royale, if you can find it. Battle Royale is excellent. Unfortunately, it's out of print. But the soft covers, the tankobons, are not as expensive as the hard covers. PTSD Radio is quite excellent. Monster is not body horror, is not like jump scare horror, but it is like psychological horror, which I enjoy. I love that stuff. What was the one that because there are some that haven't made it to America yet that I've been wanting to read. There is the Ring adaptation of the books. Blood on Tracks is quite excellent too. So those are some quick recommendations as far as manga, but I know there's other manga readers in the chat that can help too. Pretty sure all art degrees are worth. Shut up, Roberto Rodriguez. Griffin Classroom is quite excellent. Oh, Cat Eye Boy. Yeah, that's another one too. I like that. Devilman and Violence Jack. Have they released all of Violence Jack in America? I feel like with somebody like Go and a Guy attached to it, they should have. Hey, Omar and Dom, which Batman comic that is canon should I read? Dom, I'll let you take the lead on this one. What do you think?
Batman canon, I mean, I always say year one, which is Batman 404 to 407, if my mind recalls that. And I think it's one of the greatest stories ever told.
Batman year 2. It's not canon anymore. Long Halloween. Long Halloween. Good Night Poon Poon. Is that sad? Yeah, I've been the artwork in there, the Dracula book, the hashtag Dracula book is so beautiful. So beautiful. So we're talking about Monster. No, I'm talking about Monster by Urasawa. If you haven't read it, it is a masterpiece. Lonely Place Dying. Yes. I don't know what is canon anymore or not. Have you ever thought about doing a poll for most wanted hardcovers of indie publishers like Dark Horse and Image Comics? That would that would take a long time to build. I don't know if I could get volunteers to help me with that one. I mean, it would be fun. I don't know how much Peter would be able to help me with those, though. Looks like somebody decided to sleep in. Yeah, Melanie was here, man. She just left, and then Dom took over. Don't care what people say about Batman Year 2 will always be canon to me. Don't know when that ever was an issue. That's right, baby. That's right. Monster's so good. I recommend it highly. Yep. See? No, she did not. Shut up, Bloss. She did not leave me. What about just Dark Horse? You mean like Dark Horse trade paperbacks? The hard part about this is that you have to keep up with what they own the rights to. And I found that that's so difficult to do when it comes to like, even when Marvel and DC, we had to make decisions. Like, do we put Thundercats up on the poll? Like, who owns the rights to Thundercats? Because it's now Dynamite, so really DC couldn't do this. Yeah. Omar, you can do a HC poll for Dark Horse. They will give us softcover reprints. That you aren't wrong. Show up, woke up, and was like, "Crud, welcome to the party, pal." Omar, what's the best horror movie song, and why is it theme on Friday the 13th Part 3? The Dream Warriors, dude. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. That song is awesome. Thank you for the super chat, Puddin' Tame. How about a video about misprints? Black Costume Omni, Spidey by Spencer 2, Daredevil, Orange Hulk, Silver Surfer. These books are expensive. How do these mistakes get past quality control? I have no idea. I I have no answer for this because I don't work for Marvel, and nor do I work for the printer. But I'll be honest, like I didn't even catch the Spencer 2, and I read that omnibus. I did catch the Daredevil, and I caught the misprint in Black Costume Saga. I don't know. I don't know if it's, the digital files that get sent over there and something gets corrupt. But I mean, we've had like the World of Wakanda. I caught that one because I was really confused in the story because some of the pages were out of, they were taken out of place. So I don't know how these things end up happening. Quality control, but where? Would it be the printer, or would it be before the files get sent to the printer? And if the right files get sent to the printer, then who would be at fault? Whose job would it be? And I think they're all different printers too, because it's not like the last two were the iMac printers, but I think the Mega Print has also had some issues. I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to look at the digital files first before sending them over. Yeah. But I really don't have an answer as to how they get past quality control. And I mean, it's not, and the thing is, it's not just a Marvel thing, right? Like we've had DC Omnis like that too, like the Justice League International Omnibus, the Fourth World Omnibus. And there are people with a difference of opinion. Some people don't mind. Like I kept my Justice League International and my Fourth World first printing. Because it was one page, right? My Absolute Kingdom Come misprint means more to me because Mark Waid actually filled in the word bubbles for me. Good, because he knew about the misprint. So he was like, hey,
That's awesome.
I'll write it. So that meant more to me than keep going and getting another printing of it. So it's like I said, it happens with every company. I don't have an answer as to how it keeps happening, right?
But I think it's not just again for Omnis, right, Omar? It's like a lot of trade paperbacks and like regular books, have it too. I remember talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, "Hey, like, what do you?" DC messed up with the Kyle Rayner compendium, and he said, "Dom, I've been reading comics for like 15, 20 years, and I can tell you this: you get desensitized after you see like 1 billion misprints on your collected editions after a while, and that just comes with the hobby. Like mistakes happen. Well, I'm not trying to like defend the thing, but
mistakes happen within like single issues, like as far as like editors sometimes not catching things. So, but I genuinely don't have an answer as to how it keeps happening. Human error. I mean, if you feed it to an AI bot, can an AI system catch it? And do we want that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have Captain America Omnibus Volume 2. It hasn't been sent to me yet. Actually, I only got a couple of October books, so maybe next week I'll have some more. Must be a problem with the checks and balances. So much is then checked very thoroughly. Knights M Omni has 2 pages reversed, 1 leaf. And I also see cases where, it's a one-off too. Like the only 2 copies are out there, or only like 4 copies are out there of the pages mistakes. What should I be expecting reading Metabarons? Is it easy to read? If you're not used to European style of writing, it's a tough read. But it is a masterpiece. I've used Masterpiece twice now with Berserk and the Metabarons. But it's like sci-fi. It's futuristic sci-fi, but it's an overabundance of world building about this particular world that's, all about the Incal. It came from the Incal, then we got Metabarons, we get Techno Priest. Oh man, it is so good, and the art is amazing. Rights are tough to figure out. Thank you for the super chat, Bruce. For example, Thundercats, Warner still owns the media franchise. Dynamite just has a license to publish. But can they publish previously printed books, like not just DC, but also the stuff that they did at Wildstorm, which is now DC? So never mind, it's the same thing. Didn't Devil's Due have a Thundercats? They even had no prizes, one-shot comics hosted by Stanley. Oh, for the mistakes? We use AI at work that we made in-house to do simple tasks. We have to go behind it all the time. What was your message, Logan? I'm so sorry. I got caught up reading questions. Metabarons is awesome, but prepare to read a lot. That is so true. Did you read the masterpiece, My Dress Up Darling? Dom, did you get my email?
I did get your email, Josh. I will get around to it whenever I have free time, which is like, I'm going to be so busy in the next couple of weeks.
Dom's going on vacation. Leave him alone. I think I answered a Deadpool question. For me, it was the Daniel Way one. Good morning. Empty space on the shelf next to AVX. What does it mean? Oh, that somebody wanted to get down the Extinction Agenda Omnibus and take a look at it. I think it was my buddy Tyler that wanted that. Where is the misprint of the Kingdom Come Omni? Oh my God, it's not in the Omnibus. It's in the Absolute Edition, and it's missing word bubbles from one page, and I cannot remember what it's from issue 2, I think. Yeah, Marvel and DC crossover omnibus is a rights issue. It would cost lots of money for the contracts. What do you think the chances of getting a Jeff Johns Green Lantern's core era Omni that's mapped by story, so you're not bouncing between Omnis as you read that era?
I doubt that we're going to get any semblance of that. I think the only way that they do it is with the DC Finest collections that are going to be coming out soonish, because those are much more... I don't know what the word is, but for Batman, for example, right? They're doing Batman and Detective Comics issues in both, where it'll be, wow, like I'm reading a comprehensive thing from release date onwards to the next. Because of those omnis already exist, and I think DC wants you to read those two runs individually, I sincerely doubt that it will get any sort of semblance, and especially with Volume 1 too, right? Like you have Sinestro Corps War in there. Which symbol to me, like it's not a companion omni. Like DC wants you to read that on its own. I doubt it, but who knows?
Not for a long time. Not until those books are out of print, right? But with a name like Jeff Johns and Peter Tomasi, who are now both at Ghost Machine, I think they're still going to sell them based on the creators. But misprints can be corrected in the next edition, Marvel. They have done that. They did that with Silver Surfer, remember? So it's not like they didn't. I just don't know. Like, I talked a little bit about this on my AMA last night. I just don't think a lot of the time the publishers are aware until retailers reach out to them as to what needs to be corrected. And I know I know moving forward that whenever I announce an omnibus, if it's a reprint with a mistake, but I will be dead honest with you, I did not know about the mistake on Hulk, World War Hulk. I read the first omnibus many years ago, and I don't remember that mistake. Daredevil I knew about, and I never sent them an email because I just assumed it was going to be corrected, but it wasn't. So next time a reprint comes around that we know had an issue, I will be sending out an email to make sure the corrected files are sent out. For example, like Silver Surfer, I want to make sure that the corrected files are sent out. Even though it's not really my job, I do want to help people get, the product that they're paying for. And I'm sure Marvel would appreciate that there are no mistakes with these books. And just like DC would. Don't worry, Dom. I just make sure you got it. See? Omar didn't read my gift. Ha ha. Yes, 2 people did not read your thing. You showed us, Josh. What is your favorite Lantern Corps? Like Gnort? Like member?
I think it means like the...
Or the run.
No, not run, like the
color scheme?
Yeah, the colors.
Oh my God, have you met me? I'm Red Lantern all the way, baby. Like, there's so much rage in me. Especially when things don't work the way they're supposed to. I just picked up Swamp Thing. What about you, Dom? What's your favorite color scheme?
What did I say during the Green Lantern interview?
I don't know.
I think I might have said orange because I as annoying as Larfleeze is, I do like him.
And as a collector, you almost have to, right?
Exactly.
I think as a collector, we're all a little bit of orange. The first ever omnibus was Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1, right? Yes, it was a trial run they did at Barnes & Noble exclusively, and it didn't sell as well, but then they said, okay, well, let's try the direct market, and they did the Fantastic Four, the Silver Age Fantastic Four. And that sold well enough that they started doing other titles like X-Men and New X-Men and things like that. Oh, Bar, you were missed. Ghost Machines has the best books on shelves today. They have a lot of talent at Ghost Machine. Omar and Dom, Batman One Bad Day, still worth checking out.
I like some of the stories in there. I wouldn't say that all of them are my favorites, but the ones that stood out to me were Ra's al Ghul,
yep,
Catwoman. I like the Bane story too with Williamson and Porter. I thought that was a fun box.
I thought the Clayface story, the Bane story, Ra's al Ghul, and there was one more that I really dug. I like the art of Mr. Freeze because it was what's his name, Sandoval, right? That did the artwork.
No, it's Scalera with Duggan.
Oh, Mateo Scalera. That's right. Yeah, I like that one. They didn't on Bendis and Malieve Volume 1. Right. They did not, because I didn't think I needed to send them an email. Apparently, I will from now on. But also, it's not one of these things like, is that really my job? Because I was never like that when I was in IT, but I will. Just another task for me to remember, though. For older material like Thundercats material, Marvel Star depends on the... Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Bruce. Like Thundercats material, Marvel Star depends on the license. Dynamite has only announced plans to publish the new Thundercats series. So based on this, that means that they could publish Thundercats if they got the license all around, correct? Is that right? Because if they did, they can go back and publish it and do the same thing like they did with Darkwing Duck, like do a Kickstarter. Do you see a Doctor Strange by Jed MacKay being announced as soon as his Moon Knight was? Especially because Doctor Strange is actually over with no new ongoing. I think it will come, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Big Stu? Oh, shoot, never mind.
Oh, hold on a second. Omar, I found a mistake in a later Savage Sword of Conan. What was the mistake? My buddy James is my oracle. He's keeping up with all the misprints and mistakes, so send it to him. Yes, Orange. I want things. So go ahead. You were clicking on something.
New Detective or Detective Comics New 52 is going to collect everything up to issue 26 in the 2 annuals. I actually got to talk about that omnibus with John Layman on my channel. I told him, hey, your Detective Comics run is getting printed in Omni, but no, and I told him they split your run in 2 because the last 4 issues of the run that he did is going to be in the 2nd volume. He got mad because he was like, well, that's less shelf space for me.
He got mad? Mr. Freeze for the art. Ghost Machine rules. They're great. I really like a lot of their stories. I got 2 emails, so I got you, man. I got you. Omar, what's the next Omni after X-Men Fatal Attractions? Legion Quest. And that leads into the Age of Apocalypse. Little double dip there, too, because part of Legion Quest is an Age of Apocalypse. Have a good day, Omar and Mel. You too, Earl. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Actually, Melanie said she left because she was exhausted from Bar being here earlier. Omar, what's upcoming on the bestest channel ever this week? Thank you, Big Stu. I actually went over my schedule with Dom yesterday.
I did. Let me see if I can read it through. There we go. So Sunday, we got the Triangle Years Era Omnibus Volume 1 and the Bat Family Year 1 box set. Monday, we got the Savage Sword of Conan Volume 1 and the NYX by Quesada and Middleton Gallery Edition. Marvel Trade Paperback Tuesday, as per the usual. On Wednesday, we got the Most Wanted Superman Omnibus list. On Thursday, we have Absolute Dark Knight 3 Master Race overview, as well as Hot Paprika. For Friday, we got the upcoming October bookies, a 5-week October, and We 3 Deluxe. And of course, Saturday is the other stream.
5 weeks. And in between there too, I do have some interviews. I'm interviewing my buddy Kenny Porter, who's been writing Superboy on Monday at 6 p.m. These are all live interviews. On Tuesday is Michael Kingston at 7 p.m. And that's on the 24th. And that's it for this week as far as interviews. And next week I'll have some other interviews coming up. Then I got to kind of slow up on interviews because I got a big New York Comic Con show I need to go to. Omar, slightly rhetorical question. Why hasn't there been a story where the Hand tries to take over New York and Wolverine, Daredevil and Elektra, Iron Fist try to take them down? I'd like to read that. They sort of kind of did that in Devil's Reign. My question is, why didn't the Hand ever team up with the Right? You know, the X Factor villains. I always wanted to see that. So he could be the right hand. Dom, rank the... Thank you for this, John. Thank you for asking, Dom. Let's see where we at, Dom. Rank the new warriors from best to worst. Speedball, Nova, Namorita, Firestar, Justice. I always throw that little Spanish slang in there for Namorita, even though I think it's just Namorita. Justice, Darkhawk, and Silhouette. Omar's watching and I am judging. You're darn right. Who is the best new warrior? I don't think I've ever talked about my favorite new warriors.
Firestar?
Actually, that is a good guess. Keep going. Who's next?
I have Darkhawk at 2.
Okay.
Speedball at 3. Namorita at 4. Nova at 5. Justice at 6. Silhouette at 7.
Wow, Silhouette at 7? Dom. She's got crutches. You're gonna get canceled, man.
That's okay. I'm used
She's
to
a African-American woman on crutches. This is how you get canceled, Dom. This is how you get canceled, my friend. All right, for me, this is real talk. All right, here we go. Firestar's right. That is my favorite. Then Nova, then Justice. Then that's where I would put Darkhawk. Then Namorita. Then Silhouette. And then Speedball. I wasn't ever a big fan of Robbie. Like, he's okay. But Speedball was my least favorite. Thank you for that. Big Stu was clearly asking about the schedule for Omnidog. I've never heard of Omnidog. What is an Omnidog? Get G. Willow Wilson to do an interview. You know, I was supposed to interview her at New York Comic Con. And then something funny happened. That I
am going to be interviewing her soon, though, Bar, so you should check that out.
Well, there you go, Bar. Also, Wednesday is Reels Talk. Yes, we are coming back. I am not hosting a panel at New York Comic Con. I actually talked to Sal about this behind the scenes. The bigger your channel gets, the least likely Repop wants you to come to the show as press or even pro anymore. They want you to pay for your they want you to pay for your tickets. And they don't want you to hosting panels. And the reason for that is because they're doing their own thing. And I had no idea until he told me, because I was like, why am I being rejected for press passes when I know for a fact some of my friends that have a lot smaller channels have been getting press passes. So he explained to me he doesn't even get pro passes anymore. And I was like, man, that's messed up. The Larry Hama interview was great. Thank you so much, man. He is one of my favorites. And Night Thrasher is my all-time favorite. Yes. But he didn't put Night Thrasher on there. Omar is part of Gen X like myself. Dom, what are your thoughts on, thank you for the super chat, Doc Holiday, on the content and artwork of comics from the 80s and 90s compared to modern comics? That is a big question. That is a good question. What do you think?
So I'm much more averse, I think, to writing from back in the day versus art from back in the day, because art back in the day, like, I can appreciate it for what it is, and B, you know, styles were so much different back then as far as illustrations go, that it's not as hard for my brain to work around it. Like, I love, dude, there are a lot of 80s artists I love, and 90s Vertigo. I mean, that, you know, lots of those books are my jam. I mean, it feels like a cop-out saying it, but, like, you know, you're reading Byrne, Paul Smith, and George Perez, and all these, like, amazing artists on these books, and you're just like I'm like, those are worlds that I want to be in. And yeah, I don't think I mind it as much. Like, I think there's a sensibility to not only seeing what art was back in those days, but also getting a sense of appreciation for the pioneers and what they were doing. for comics and graphic images just as a whole.
John kicking poor women. This is what happens, man. They take things out of context. That's why Omar loves penance. Best, I hate you so much, John. I am not gonna read that. I've never interviewed Stan Sakai, and I always wanted to. For me, I think it's very important to talk to these legendary creators, you know. And I'm not saying, you know, he's going anywhere or anything. I'm just saying interview these wonderful people that are still with us, because you never know. Like John Cassaday, we lost him at the age of 52, and that's not fair. So, yeah. Hindsight lad. Hindsight lad sucked. But one day I would love to interview Stan Sakai. Sounds like typical Reed Pop shenanigans. I'm just saying. I was just like, oh, that makes sense. Like, okay, I guess they don't want us hosting panels, and they don't want us covering the show. They want us to pay for our stuff, and I don't mind. I really enjoy New York Comic Con. So Melanie and I will be at New York Comic Con this year. I don't know if I'll be doing any footage. I might just be doing networking, and I know I've got like a couple of parties to go to that I was very blessed to be invited to. So yeah, and I'm gonna be there with my buddy Bobby, and hopefully seeing some of you wonderful people. And
My
then
buddy
next year,
Bobby too.
he's my friend Bobby.
No. He's my friend. I had him for. No, I'm joking.
Yo, you're gonna call dibs on Bobby? I got a picture with Bobby. Okay, we're besties. I took him to an after party. We crashed a Marvel party. Where are you at, Dom? Actually, I want to go and hang out with Dom next year at San Diego Comic Con.
I'll be there.
It sounds like you should have made a second channel and said that to Repop. I guess I could use Near Man Collective, right? Dom, will you be picking up the G.I. Joe compendiums? Are you a fan of that?
Unless they get sent my way, no. But I would like to read them someday.
Dom, changing your background does not make me forget about the stuffed Squirtle. I'm still waiting on my sleeping Squirtle. Oh, are you collecting the sleeping Pokemon? I don't know why I'm pointing back there.
I have a sleeping Bulbasaur. Although all of my other Pokemon that I get are awake if I can try. Because the sleeping Pokemon usually costs like $10 to $20 less, depending on which Pokemon it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I made like a small editing error in my announcement for the Marvel and DC Omnibus pushbacks, because I was the one who broke the news on that. And then I got the amalgam date wrong, because After Effects didn't render the animation correctly. And so people were on me. I was like, okay, let me re-upload. And yeah, I owe Mr. Doyle a sleeping Squirtle because of it.
I didn't know, you know, if I had known you were this big into Pokemon while I was in Japan this year, I would have picked you up something from the Pokemon Center, because those
dude, I mean, I can't find any Johto Pokemon anywhere. Like to have a
I don't even know what that means.
Cyndaquil or a Totodile, like
I have no idea what you're talking about. But if you send me a picture, because I was trying to find not this year, but last year when we went with the kids, my brother was like, "Oh, give me a Yapper,
mm-hmm.
the little
mm-hmm.
like what are they, like corgi looking Pokemon?"
Yep.
Yeah, that's not the Japanese name for the character. So I was like, "What the heck is the Japanese name for this character?" So I was showing pictures to the employees instead. When do you think Prelude to War of the Kings Omnibus will reprint? Was it in our top 20? Hopefully next year. Omar, there are reviews for Arkham Saga Omni. Any plans to do one for the reprint? Yes, I will. Sometime soon. Sometime this week or maybe next week. I'm catching up on reading. Interview Jeff Lemire. Oh, I'd love to interview Jeff. I like his stuff. What's Comic Cons like? Big, man. Like, especially when you're going to San Diego or New York Comic Con, it is shoulder to shoulder. So if you don't like people, they're not for you. There are smaller conventions that are really, really awesome that are focused mainly and primarily on comic books. And the few that I can think off the top of my head are Heroes Con, Baltimore Comic Con, and Terrificon. Like, they hardly have any like movie stars and things like that. I think Keanu Reeves was at Terrificon, but he also wrote a comic, so that kind of is a good loophole. But it's not wrestlers, it's not Chuck Norris, it's just focusing on the comic creators, which I think don't get canceled at NYCC. I'm 46 years old, man. I lived through the age of Polaroids, and I didn't get canceled then. I don't expect to get canceled now. Making a Bobby sandwich. Nitro is Mark Miller's favorite new warrior. Nitro? No. Dom, when is your interview with G. Will Wilson? Please tell me it's a reasonable time when I'm awake.
Oh, they're all of my interviews are pre-recorded, mainly for the simple fact that I don't know if my computer, because I run a lot of assets when I do my interviews. Typically, what I like to do, Bar, is try to promote their upcoming work via graphics and everything from covers, interiors, and also product information, like how much the book is, the solicit text, and release date, and all that. I'll let you know. I'm still trying to get things up, but yeah, I have a list of creators that I'm planning on talking to for promoting their DC All-In stuff. So stay tuned.
Oh, good. I'm glad you'll both be there. It's one of the few things I'm looking for. Well, I will look for you, Kane. Hello, Dom. Omar. Is George Perez's art in Brave and the Bold, Volume 3, Final Crisis, Legion of Three Worlds, War of the Gods, available in oversized format?
Yes to the second one.
Two of the three are.
Yeah.
Brave and the Bold is the only thing that is not in oversized format. Final Crisis is where? Dom, where can he find his Final Crisis?
You can get Legion of Three Worlds in the Omnibus, or there is a deluxe hardcover coming out, supposedly coming out next year, that you will be able to buy if you want that in oversized specifically.
War of the Gods is in the War of the Gods Omnibus, and it's also in the Wonder Woman Omnibus Volume 3 by George Perez. But unfortunately, Brave and the Bold, for some reason, isn't. Maybe one day we'll get like a George Perez Omni. We need more Ben Omnibuses. We need two more in between Ben Omnibus 3 and Agent Ben Omnibus. Sounds like Omar's going to Heroes Con. I want to do Heroes Con and San Diego Comic Con next year, and maybe Emerald City Con, just for a chance to go and see my buddy Curtis, because that's really close. So he just needs to come down. That's it. I just realized Dom was born in a world that already had more than 151 Pokemon.
Gen 4. I grew up with Sinnoh. Watching
what
that
does that
show.
even mean? What's Sinnoh, man?
Is that, you know, the cute blue penguin Piplup? That was one of the main characters that I grew up with.
You mean Peekaboo? I remember when Peekaboo was a thing. For Batman Day, do you have a favorite Batman splash page or moment in comics or other mediums? Okay. One of my favorite pages for Batman has to come from Infinite Crisis #1. In Infinite Crisis #1, Batman had one of the best lines, because they're talking, him, Wonder Woman, and Superman are talking about how dark and the world has gotten, like how superheroes are now killing people. Something happened, right? I'm not going to spoil in case you haven't read it, but it does happen in the Superman, Sacrifice story. It's the Sacrifice, right? Crossover with Wonder Woman. Yeah. So something happens in that story. And Superman, starts getting all high and mighty, talking about how we got to be better than that. And dude, Batman has one of the best lines ever. He's like, the last time you inspired anybody, Clark, was when you died. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, you just called Superman out. He said you ain't inspired no one since you've been alive. I thought that was such an awesome moment. There's an even better moment in Infinite Crisis issue #7 between him, Wonder Woman, and Lex Luthor. Or was it it was Alexander Luthor. Oh my gosh. That has something to do with a gun and Batman. And then of course I think Wally, you're the greatest messenger ever. That brought me to tears. Yeah. What about you, Dom? Batman Day.
I probably have to take that page out from Batman 405 when it's like all the smoke. He's just looking down. Is good. Gosh, there's so many. Honestly, like for spread pages, I mean, All-Star Batman and Robin is definitely a comic book, but I can't remember. I remember the feeling of like seeing that spread fold-out page of Jim Lee's Batcave, and I was just like, "This is cool. This story might be weird, but that's pretty cool."
Also, Dom, you gave us your word you were going to take out someone here at San Diego Comic Con. You did? You gave people
I did?
What did you say,
What I
Dom?
said.
Dom, real quick, which is a better run? Jeff Johns' run on JSA or Ewing's Immortal Hulk?
God damn it. It's like picking between two
Thank
of
you
my
for the
favorites.
super
Man.
chat. Doc Holiday. Come on, Dom!
For the technicality aspect, even though I like JSA more as a whole, because those are some of my favorite characters, I think I'll go with Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk by like a tiny sliver, a tiniest of the slivers. We're splitting hairs.
I'm gonna go with JSA. It's my favorite Jeff Johns comics, and it is my all-time favorite. Even the beginning with David Goyer and James Robinson working together. Oh, I love that era. I never thought I would be a fan of old geriatric golden age heroes, but they changed my mind. I love that stuff. So JSA for me. Omar, we need an X-Men Omni announcement like Tyrone Biggins needs. Wait, speaking of, let's see what I still got that. Yeah, nope. Where is my Melanie? What did you do with my Tyrone Biggins gift? Anyway. Dom, have you read Jeff Johns' new JSA run?
Of course. I am caught up after billions of years on delays, but I have read it.
Olgar being a fan of the Olgar, huh? No, man, it's just I never thought I'd be a fan of the Golden Age stuff. And they proved me wrong. JSN had Jay Garrick. It automatically wins. One of the greatest flashes ever. I actually prefer Jay Garrick over Barry Allen because my flash will always be Wally West. Omar, because of you, I started the road to Uncanny X-Men. Now I've pre-ordered 5 Omnis and bought 7 Marvel Masterworks. These stories are so good. I am so glad. That's the important thing, that you're enjoying them. Seriously. Throne of Atlantis or bust. Sergio, I don't have the Captain America Omnibus Volume 2 yet. I don't know what's going on with my October books. I just haven't, outside of Extinction Agenda and Spidey by Melanie and Larson, I don't have any of the other ones. Last 4-minute warning. We're going to go over 2 minutes. Autographs and photos, celebrities of different status, charge money to meet up with them briefly for photos or autographs. And I will say, if you want to take, if you've never done a photo op experience, it goes by like that. You don't have the time to I guess depending on who it is, right? You don't have the time to express your love of them and their work. It's don't make eye contact, look at the camera, smile, get out, and get your picture later. And where's our $100? Or some of these celebrities, man, are just woo. Omar, do you think Marvel will rebrand Claremont Jim Lee Omnis to go along with the X-Men Extinction Agenda Omni? Probably not. They've got big names, Claremont and Jim Lee, to sell the books. They don't need to rebrand them. Now, when we get to the chronological order of volumes 9, volume 8, 9, and 10, yeah, they'll have to. Time has been flying. 1 minute warning. That's 1/3 messages just briefly describing the different parts of a con. Yes, there's so much more. Bring deodorant because you'll always think it's you. That's one of my favorite things to tell people. But I guarantee it's not you. It's just somebody else that didn't bring deodorant. Evergreen of IP books: Conan, G.I. Joe, Uncle Scrooge, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, Alien, Doctor Who, Star Wars. I like that idea. Spider-Man by Melanie and Larson is one of the books I pre-ordered. Can't wait to have it. They made a Frankenstein one too. Bring a giant bottle of water. Some shows don't let you bring in any drinks. It's almost like you're going through airport security. I've been to a show where they didn't let you bring in any of your water because they want you, I don't know, they want you to buy water there maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I bought Absolute All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder at a decent price just for the artwork. That's the same reason why I bought Absolute Wildcats. Bring your own snacks. Don't pay for that fried crud.
Man, you're getting me hungry, guys.
Omar, are you allowed to ask Dynamite if they're able to publish the older Thundercats comics? I will. I'm actually supposed to be meeting up with Nick at New York Comic Con, so that would be something I'd like to bring up personally. I would love to see that stuff collected. All right, we'll take 5 more questions. Frankenstein comment was me. How are you, Simulated Animator? Wanting that and Tomb of Dracula anime films on DVD. Dude, Tomb of Dracula and Frankenstein's Monster, I watched those in Peru. Those were like my segue both to anime and Marvel horror comics. I didn't know they were. First of all, I had no idea they were Marvel because they were violent. They had blood. They had death in them. And I fell in love with the animation style. I watched those when I was like 3 or 4 years old. Yeah, any time at NYCC, let's meet for dinner. Dude, I would love Tyler. I didn't know you were going. Well, now we definitely got to meet up. And I won't go to an event I can't smuggle alcohol into. Crowds give me anxiety. A shot or two is necessary. You can bring in your water bottle. Remember, I used to do that in high school for like football games and stuff. Buy stuff on the last day. That's a good one. No one wants to cart those things back home. Yes, but if you have an eye on the price and you're like, man, that's a good price on a Friday, prices will go up on Saturday. Like most of the booths, not all of them. They will go up on Saturday. And then bring them back down on Sunday. That's when you can wheel and deal. But if it's something like that's rare that you got your eyes on a Friday, try to pick it up because odds are somebody else knows how rare something is. Omar, don't forget to ask Nick Barucci about an update. Dang it.
You keep falling into these, man.
Because they start with Omar. Hey, Omar, anywhere whenever we get a release of The Electric Warriors by Steve Orlando and Travel Foreman? I don't have words on that. Isn't Steve Orlando one of your friends, Dom?
He is one of my friends and a friend of the channel.
You should ask them.
I should ask.
I like Steve Orlando. Where should I start reading Justice League comics? You can't go wrong with JLA by Morrison, and you can't go wrong with Justice League New 52. Justice League International is a treat on its own, though. That's where I would go. Dom, thoughts? Where would you start?
I could pull the old Curtis button and say Silver Age Justice League with Gardner Fox. But no, I will agree with Omar. I do think like New 52 Justice League was my first Justice League comic, and that's what I grew up with, so that's what I recommend.
Dude, you don't like Steve Orlando's Scarlet Witch? That has been awesome. Okay, not every Steve Orlando book, but Scarlet Witch is like, that run has been great. He's, some things I like more than others. Buena Vista Restaurant, small South American restaurant, 2 blocks from the convention center. Seabass Ceviche is banging. Well, I'm going to have to do that. We got ceviche available. Can they create new aliens for Ben 10?
Dun, 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 dun.
Ben 10 is dun, dun. I thought that was, what's it called?
No, I did not do the Ben 10 theme. It just went into my head. I don't know why.
Impossible theme? Did I get that right? Yes.
Yeah, that's impossible.
That's Gen X, baby. I didn't even grow up with that stuff. I just know because I had cousins that had kids. Anyway, Silverhawks 80s comics would be great to reprint. Also, Marvel UK made more Thundercats comics not released in America, just like their Transformers. All right. Last question. Oh, 2 questions. Omar, could you try and interview John Romita Jr., please? I have his contact info. Just never reached out. To tell him he's my greatest of all time. Plus, here's some wonderful stories. I would like that. I would love to interview him. What Batman Omnibus by Paul Dini should I read? There's
only one, right? There's
Batman Adventures of Batman.
Oh wait,
Batman Adventures does have Paul Dini in it. You can't go wrong with either one. You can't go wrong with either one. Soul Daredevil reprint, Quesada Marvel Knights reprint. I think Soul got voted in our top 20. So there you go. Dom, where can people find you, man? Thanks for joining me for this Saturday's.
Of course. Thank you for letting me co-host and be on as always. You can find me here because I am on the NMC payroll, as Mr. Omar said about a month ago. So you can find me here. You can also find me on my channel where I am now running through a whole bunch of DC All-In stuff. I have a review of a deluxe edition that is going to be coming out pretty soon. But yeah, you can find me there on Dom of X. You can also find me on comicreleases.com, where we just put up the documentation for Marvel and DC solicitations as well. So you can find me on those spots.
Maya, that's my cousin. Hope everybody has an amazing weekend, and don't forget to smash that. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. They're based out of the US and having a huge sale right now. They're having a huge Nick and Den sale that started this weekend. So go and see if you can find something if you can't make it to a con. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Goodbye.